Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cranky Pundit podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morgan, the Cranky Pundit. We have our weekly quiz show with Psychic Dan. Psychic Dan, how are you?
Good, bud. Thanks for having me.
We have to apologise to all our viewers. No show last week because myself and Danny, we were gigging up in Dublin, Hollywood, what can we say? But I'm absolutely so tired, lad. I've never been so tired coming home. It was dangerous. I drove up Thursday. You came up with me. I went up to Dublin Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well, lads. And I was power washing trucks Saturday and early sleeping in the trucks, like. And I had a match then Sunday morning that went into extra time, like. I was like, ref, give it to him, kid. Give it to him, boy. I didn't even fucking want it, like. You know what I mean? I was coming home Sunday, lad, and Jess actually came up with me Sunday, and thank God. Thank God, because outside Erlingford, I'd say, you would have found the Citroen Berlingo absolutely upside down inside the ditch, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But
fair jokes, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
playing the game as well and fucking going out playing 2 hours of football.
2 hours of football, centre mid, we were short a load of players, boy. And yeah, felt it was one of those weeks again, like, just got at my foot. I got an awful tackle. The top of my leg. I sound like a little bitch now, like complaining, but don't play it in, Mike. Do you know what I mean? Little scramps with your foot. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, exactly. Like, but absolutely. Like, I was never so tired in my life, but yeah, got home. But you know that sign, tiredness kills? That kept popping up every time I got real tired. Do you know what I mean? So that was a good, gentle reminder as well. Like, you know, there was a lot of SOS phones. Do people use them? Like, do you know? They're very far apart. Have them every kilometre or don't have them at all. Like. Not once every 60 miles, like, you know. Who's the fella on the other end of that as well, like?
That's true. Potluck if you break down next to that, like.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Making a call. Or are people taking advantage of the system by just calling their mem, like, you know, overseas, like, do you know what I mean? No, it's only one line, anyway, like. But, but how are you getting on?
Flying it, kid. Flying it, boy. Yeah, all good. Going over to the Liverpool game now this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Myself and Billy. So, looking forward to it. And if we put out
shout out Billy who listens to the podcast,
shout
definitely.
Out to Billy.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to it. And if we put in a performance like we did Monday night, should be a cracker. Everyone's just coming back now as well. Diaz Thiago. We've been calling for about 2 years now, Liverpool fans, to be definitely all season anyway, to be Tron Trent in the middle. What do you make of it?
Brilliant. I thought it was fascinating. I thought he was exactly what we thought he'd be. It was like fucking Tom Brady, boy. He was like linking it all up. And just the best thing is that he's not right back getting absolutely skinned. Like, in the last 2 games, their left midfielder didn't get man of the match. And that's an absolute fright to God, like, you know, just take him out of there, like. And playing brilliant. Sure, he can't be worse than what we have midfield. Midfield's been dreadful this year, like. Do you know? Throw him in. Give everybody a go. I reckon Van Dijk could do a savage job centre defensive midfielder. Throw them all in, boy, for fuck's sake. Jogo, the whole lot. But no, Trent is absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed that. Probably too little, too late, though.
Well, for this season anyway, but if we get another 5 years out of Trent in the middle because of this, so be it. Like,
so be it. Yeah, that's true. Man City got through last night. Surprise.
Lad, I never in all my life seen... Did you see Upamecano's performance over both legs against Haaland?
Shocking.
Over both legs. Oh, dude. Like, he got a red card, got away with it, they rescinded it, got booked a few minutes later, fell in his hole when Haaland scored the third goal, literally just fell in his bum, like. I'd say he has nightmares at night about him, boy. Honestly, I'd say he has nightmares. The first leg as well, he was so bad, man. Honestly, so bad. I thought Bayern Munich might give him a game, like, if they scored early, or something. And
he's not been that impressive. Like, he's not been the hype he was 2 years ago.
I've seen absolutely not a single Bundesliga game all year, but over the 2 Champions League games against Man City, he was so bad. Like, he was like Lovren when he was going through his rough patch with Liverpool there. Like, he just falling over himself, didn't know what to do with the ball. I thought he was brutal. But and all Milan semi-final, who would have thought it, kid? Amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. I honestly would have preferred Napoli to win, just because I think Napoli could do Man City. I don't think AC Milan can do it. But look, they won on merit.
But it's going to be City Madrid.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so
hopefully Madrid do them. So please God. Oh,
It's Inter and AC is the other semi, like.
Oh,
the derby, like.
That's going to be unbelievable. Like. And it's Serie A is at its weakest in a long time, like, you know. And yeah, that's brilliant to see. Does anything else happen? Oh yeah, actually I forgot to say as well, in Dublin last week, so Friday, I went up and I was just walking and I had my headphones in, you know, and I could feel behind me something zooming in fast, like, you know, and it was a scumbag, like, cycling his bike, a pure Scorby dude, like, but he was, like, intense, like, and he nearly ankle-tapped me, boy. Like, he came back and he just nearly ankle-tapped me, like, and I kind of took my headphones out and I was like, am I going to have to say something to the Scorb, like, and accomplish nothing? What am I at, like, you know what I mean? Don't I get an injection into the side of the neck, like, I've kids on the way, and so anyway, I was wondering why he was so intense. I seen him cycle over as fast as he could, lad, to these 3 Scorbs that were on the step drinking Tennants or something, right? And they didn't see him coming at all, like, do you know? Your man dropped the bike, ran up to the boys. All 3 boys were taller than him, like. I was like, what is going to happen here, like, do you know what I mean? He slapped the can out of one of the fella's heads. And the boys just looked at each other, basically, and looked at it and pucked the head off him, kid. All over his bike that he dropped all over the floor, kid. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen, kid. Just slap. Oh, he was like this fella, uppercut next to him. Stood there, kid. Didn't even put his dukes up to protect himself. Yeah. The boys had turns with him, kid. All over it. Like, not even kicks. They weren't even dangerous. No, like, they were like pushing him on his bike, and he was mangled. They didn't even hit him that bad, and he was mangled all over his bike. What are you doing, like? What are you at, like? 6 o'clock, like. Do you know what's the rest of your... The night hasn't got going, like, and you've been flogged all over your bicycle, like, do you know what I mean? And and do you know what, lad? It wouldn't be. He struck me as the type of guy. It wouldn't have been his first or last fight of the night.
Yes.
Do you know? Some fellas are just used to getting into fights all the time. Do you know?
Used to getting flogged. Like.
I remember I went out with a dude in college. Sound guy. I won't name him because I'm about to tell a shit story about him. Like, do you know what I mean? And I went out with him the first night and he got in a fight. Do you know? And I was like, "Fuck it!" Like, do you know what I mean? The other guy's an asshole.
It's a red flag.
That's a red flag. I didn't take it. Like, do you know what I mean? He loved martial arts and stuff, also. Like, do you know, which I don't mean every. And you shouldn't be fighting outside your martial arts studio.
But did he actually do martial arts? Like,
I think he had one fight.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Like inside it, like.
That's
you know?
fair enough.
Yeah. And he went religiously, like he took it seriously, like. But that's another reason not to be getting into fights.
Yeah.
If 2 fellas getting in an altercation night out, and one of them's trained to fuck you up, and he trains every day, like, so that's just pure unfair. You don't see fellas that are dacing at chess manoeuvring themselves into a chess match in the night out, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking you're playing to their advantage. So anyway, he got in a fight the first night against a ginormous fella. He held his own, in fairness, like, but like it was like he was trying to, a bigger fella than him, like, trying to beat him, like, or something. Second night anyway, I went out with him, he got in another fight, like, do you know what I mean? So I went out with him a few more nights, and then I'm just like, I can't go out with this dude anymore because like I'm going to get in trouble, like I'm going to get the head kicked off me, like, you know, I don't know, can you tell? But I'm not a fighter, I've lost probably every fight I've ever been in, like, you know what I mean?
But even if you are a fighter, like, the last place you want to be getting into a fight is on a night out. Yeah. That's the, like, do you know what I mean? No, like, whether you're good at it or not, like, you do not want to be getting into fights on nights out. Like,
nights out.
When there's glass bottles and
do you know
drunk fellas.
I don't, like, bottling happens too often. Like, I think it happened in the weekend again inside town. Like, do you know, it happens all the time. Like, and it's never, like, drink can make a mug of some people. Jesus, I've been in States, I've made a mug of myself and all that kind of stuff. But to grab a bottle, lad, I've never thought to grab a bottle, like, and smash it over a fella, like. Glass, like, because I'm after 4 pints, like, and he's an accountant danger on the weekend.
Yeah,
he glassed the fella, like.
Lovely fella on Monday, like.
Hello? Yeah, Sean here. How's it going? Yeah, fucking boom! Off the back of a fella's head, like, you know. Happens too much. I was talking to a girl one night. Like, do you know what I mean? And I knew her, like, and she was going on, and she was laughing at the story. And I wasn't laughing, like, and I'm all up for, I love a laugh, kid.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
like a funny story.
I love a good story, like, I'll laugh with you, like, do you know what I mean? And she was telling a story where this one was wrecking her head in a night out, and she picked up a bottle. I'm already fucking drunk, because she didn't seem like the type of girl. Girls don't seem like the type of people anyway, like. And she was laughing, and her friends were laughing while telling the story because they knew the outcome of the story. Like, I was like, where's this? This is not a great start to the story, you know. You're telling the wrong dude, like. Anyway, she picked up a glass, went to bottle your one, like, and the bottle didn't break off your one, jumped out your one's hand, and dropped on the floor, and everyone started laughing at her. I was like, laughing at you. What kind of pub were you in, like? Can't even break the bottle. What would you be if you're one? If you're one, like, if you're one, seeing the bottle drop, like, Do you know?
Yeah. What kind of hardy beers you be talking to?
I
like,
know,
so-
lad. Yeah, that was a bad phase of my life, clearly. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, but
man,
yeah,
for a bit of
and they
rough.
all there. She's gassed. She's wild in a night out. Like, what do you want about, boy? And the glass fell on the floor, and she made it out as if your one was laughing.
Yeah.
Do you know? Madness, boy. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, boy. So yeah, bottle on the floor anyway. I don't know if I told this story in a podcast. I was in Chasers, which is the nightclub. Used to be the nightclub. Is it still open? They closed it for a bit, didn't they?
Yeah, it says closed.
There's not even a nightclub now in town.
No.
€20 for a nightclub there. Easter weekend it was to get into the nightclub inside town. €20. Shout out to our sponsors.
Was there, was there some kind of famous band in there or something like?
DJ Jeffy. That's probably it, like, you know, I fell on Spotify and holding these fucking headphones that aren't plugged into anything, like, you know. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was in Chasers in the smoking room one night, and there was this fella. He was a big dude, lad, big dude, bald dude in his 50s. Looks like he knocks fuckers out, no problem, like, you know. I don't want any beef, especially, and I pick my battles if I'm going to have beef. Like, if I get beat, it'll be from a fella my height, and it was a great one. He picked, do you know what I mean? He wouldn't have been able to hurt me, do you know? So yeah, he kind of went beside me, like, place was packed, and this fella moved. He was small but stocky, like, and he kind of just moved past me, and I said, "Sorry, boy," do you know? He must have thought I fucking slagged his mother when I said, "Sorry, boy. I fucked your mother, kid." Must have been what he
That's what he heard
with his reaction. Because when he turned around, I was I was smiling. So whatever he heard and me smiling just drove him fucking demented, like, you know what I mean? He just looked at me up like that, lad, and he just into my head. But I have a kink on my tooth, right? So my vampire tooth, boy, sunk into his bald head, boy. Blood all down his face. I was there. My tooth. I thought my tooth came flying out my head. I was there. Is it wiggling? Is it coming off? So when everybody turned around, anybody I was out with and everything, they just seen this stocky fella with blood all over his face, and me just standing over him, boy. It was like the proudest moment of my fucking life, kid. I was like, they're like, don't mess with Mikey, boy. Don't mess with Mikey, boy. Mikey break you up, boy. I was fucking, and the bouncer was dragging him out because he was, they're dragging him out. I just there fucking, what were you saying, love? Do you know what I mean? It was the most balling shit I've ever seen in my life, kid. And I had no part in it, like, you know. Thank God. Kink in the tooth, boy. Nodded him down, boy.
Right in the incisor, like.
Felt bad, like. Do you know what I mean? Felt bad. I mean, like, I'd say woke up the next day and there was a fucking gash there, boy. He won't come up to me again.
He deserved
Guaranteed
it.
he deserved it.
He was only waiting for just someone to happen.
Yeah. Watch now, if they look back in the cameras, I came up and just glassed him.
Bottle never broke.
Don't you ever look at my sister again, boy. My sister's not even in the vicinity, like. That's the other time. The only time I ever got in trouble. I've obviously gotten in trouble in clubs before, multiple times. I remember one time. Do you know Marco? I shouldn't be naming fellas. A lovely guy from my neighbourhood, anyway. Big dude, really big dude. Wouldn't harm a fly. Really nice guy. Gets on with everybody, right? Me and him were very drunk inside a pub one day. Do you know? Very drunk, and we were dancing. He was falling all over the place. Do you know? I was falling all over the place, but he's a big man. He was causing probably more wreck than I was causing. Do you know? Well, anyway, lads, these two bouncers came over and picked me up by the throat. Do you know what I mean?
Two of them as well.
Oh, two of them.
One
like
done,
this,
like.
legs, everything. Didn't even ask me, kid, calm it down first or anything like that. Everything, kid. I fucking like a fish going out, like getting mortified in front of them all the time. And it was like for a match. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not even dark, like, do you know what I mean? Fellas having their chicken sandwich, like, and I'm getting fucked out the side door, like, do you know what I mean? I want a pub, like, it was like they were serving food, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I look in the window, same two bouncers, and the guy, he's a big dude, this guy, like, 6'5" he is, like, and the bouncers, finish your pint there. Go on, no, we'll wait with you. And they stand there, waited for him, kid, to finish his pint and walked him out to me, like. Do you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes, like, you gotta weigh that shit up, boy. Do you know what I mean? Bullies, boy.
That's
fucking bullies, like.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, my sisters used to I used to be getting kicked out over the sisters, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Don't ever go out with your siblings, boy, especially if they're the same age as you, like. Do you know what I mean? Don't bother going out with them, like. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we could talk about this before. I love the sisters and all that, but they get you fucking killed. Anything else before we start the quiz? Oh yeah, I was trying to, as a comedian, trying to write jokes, right? So you got to write. They say 1 good minute a week, but therefore that could be 20 shit minutes. Do you know what I mean? And I know I'm onto a shit one, but I won't get out of my fucking head, right? So I have the premise of one, and it's shit, and I can't get it out of my head, and I keep writing about it, so I'm going to have to force it in, right? So obviously I'll deliver it better than this. But tell me what you think of the premise of this joke, right? And do you even get it? So let's say I'm from Mallow, whatever. There's nothing really interesting about our town, except we have this really famous street artist that goes around. It's disgusting enough, right? But he jacks off all over like fucking walls as graffiti, like makes gas designs, like he jacks all over him. His name is Wanksy. Yeah? There's definitely something there, kid. This has been written out about 4 times, and I love a callback, lad. So Wanksy could keep coming back into my stories, jizz everywhere, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know, boy. I don't fucking know. And I'm banking on you know I'm Banksy. All people.
Everybody knows Banksy.
I barely know him. No. And I'm not clued into.
I'd say you could ask any country.
Do people still not know what he looks like?
Yeah, that's true as well, I think.
So he must just have an agent that has his number. He probably has burner phones or something that, you know.
That's true, yeah. Or maybe the journalists respect it, and maybe they don't try find out who he is. Like.
Oh, that would be a big grab, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
if you were a journalist.
But it'd be like, would it be respected? I wonder. So basically, you're
journalists are respectful people, boy.
Yeah, it's a big shout.
That's a huge shout there, now.
Like you're sitting at home all week, thinking about fellas wanking off all over walls.
Yeah. Trying to make people laugh, kid. That's what I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do, like, isn't it? Bring some joy into the world. But yes, I am thinking about that on a constant basis. You write what you know about, baby. You write what you know.
It's brilliant.
So Wanksy, send in any Wanksy jokes. Yeah. If you're a fan, put a thumbs up. If you're not a fan of Wanksy, just like and subscribe. Yeah, fucking Wanksy. So that's what I'm writing about now for the last 4 days. I thought I'd get inspiration from my Dublin gigs, not Wanksy. That's all that's stuck in my fucking head. Yeah, boy. I was actually saying, do you remember that time we went to Canada and you're one in the when she looked at our passports, she was like, "Stay out of the pubs, you guys." I actually said that in the jokes last week. I was like, "Me and my buddy, and you wouldn't do that to another fucking race. You wouldn't say to an Italian, don't eat all the fucking spaghetti, boy." Do you know what I mean? All this kind of stuff. But I was halfway through that joke and I was actually telling you off air. But I was actually at a gig in Dublin, and this is where racism walks out. Because if you're racist towards Irish people, you know, like that moment there. Stay out of the pubs, you guys. That's what the girl at the check-in to Canada said to us when we seen we were from Ireland. Like. And you wouldn't do that to any other race. It's an outrageous comment. Like. And that actually happened to me on stage last week, right? So I asked the audience, anybody here with kids? And I looked to my left, and on my right, there was the coolest black man's voice, right? And it just goes, "Penned in blood." That's all it says, right? So I looked to my right to see who said it. Now I got 40 white people to my right and just the coolest black fella you've ever seen in your life. And I had to pretend, and we all had to pretend, that I didn't think it was him. Everyone knew the coolest thing anybody's ever heard from the side. Of course the black fella in dreadlocks said it, like, do you know what I mean? Slickest man of all time, do you know? And then you're afraid of racism. There's good racism. You should be able to just go, "Kid, of course it's the black man." Yeah. And you know, and I did say that and everybody fucking left. So that's brilliant. Like, but I'm just saying, people be afraid to compliment you're like that, like, you know?
100%.
You know? I didn't go, "Oh, a bunch of crackers, you can't say something. No, a black man should be like, I want like that." Like, I was just like, man, you know what I mean? Slagging all the white people, like, do you know what I mean? I should have just done that. Like, you crackers don't know nothing. It's the Dungeons of Comedy. My brother gets it. Totally, yeah. Mike Morgan, banned. Anyway, so, boy, we'll fucking get on with the quiz, I suppose. This is a soccer podcast also. So every week, myself and Psychic Dan, we have a podcast. And
well, not every week, but
except for last week. And it'll never happen again. Just like my dad went to the store, came back after a week, but we got scared. We got scared. He was like, "I'm going for cigarettes." It's like, "Dad, you don't even smoke cigarettes." But another thing embarrassing. Someone when we started Boher, one of the lads actually got me this captain's armband, and I was actually really nice, and I was going to wear it to a game. I'm so embarrassing, no kid. I'm so skinny, right, that this would fall off me. Can you imagine walking around the place, kid, and it keeps sliding? Don't even have the guns, like. Don't even have the basic guns to wear. Mike, we want you to be captain, kid, but you've chicken arms, bud. Do you know what I mean? And I feel fucking horrible about myself, boy.
You should, man, taping up the shin pads and taping up the fucking captain's armband as well.
That's embarrassing, mate. Might as well make a daisy chain and wrap it around it, for fuck's sake, like, do you know what I mean?
You should just surely, like, an under 10s one.
I could wear it as a belt. An under 10s one, yeah. Getting my blood pressure done. I can't even wrap it around it. I can't even tell, kid. I can't even tell. Do you know what I mean? We won't wrap around it. We don't make the machines for your arms, kid. We'll have to order in a fucking North Korean one for you, boy. Fuck's sake. A lot of racism flying around in this week's episode, guys.
So.
Oh yeah, 5 questions. Let's see.
Yeah. So they're very broad. So first one, right? So we were just on about Trent there. He's after reaching 50 assists for Liverpool. Can you name Liverpool's top 5 players with the most assists in the Premier League?
Premier League history. Top 5 most assists.
For Liverpool.
Yeah. I will have to say Steven Gerrard.
Stevie G's number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robbo's in there.
McManaman.
Ah, great shout. Steve McManaman.
Dirk Kuyt.
Dirk Kuyt is not in there.
Okay.
So we give you 3 wrongs, alright? So that's the first life, we'll say.
Ooh, alright, okay. Who would it? Hardly. No, he wouldn't have played long enough. Maybe he would. Coutinho?
No.
Fuck.
So Stevie G has by far the most while you're thinking.
Okay.
He's got 92.
Okay.
By far the most. You said McManaman.
Yeah.
He's number 2 with 58.
Okay.
And then you said Robbo. And Robbo is number 4 with 51.
And how much does number 5 and 4 have? How many roughly?
So 5 and 6 both of 50 each.
Okay.
And number 3 is 53. So they're kind of there or thereabouts.
Mo Salah.
Yeah, well done. Mo Salah's number 3. And I basically told you the first guy, to be fair. So and there's 2 of them joint.
You told me the first guy?
Yeah, at the start of the question.
Oh, Trent. I thought that was not.
Yeah, so you have the point. He's joint with someone. Have a guess who it is. I'll give you the point anyway.
Be joint with
Trent is after reaching 50 now. 50 assists for Liverpool in the Premier
Steve
League.
Finnan would
No.
hardly have 50 assists. Cop on, Mike. Is it one of the boys strikers?
Yeah.
Suarez, Torres.
No, Bobby. Course.
Of course. Yeah.
But well done, got the point, man. Well done, smashed it.
Nice.
So, 1 for 1. So, question number 2 is: can you name 5 players that Barcelona have signed from the Premier League?
5 players that they've signed from the Premier League.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry,
Thierry Henry is 1.
Vermaelen,
Is 2. 5 players Barcelona have signed from the Premier League. So
Coutinho,
3, yeah.
Hleb.
You remembered.
Yeah. Hleb.
Back in 2008 that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure did. Play for Arsenal.
Did Good Johnson.
Yeah.
I keep going, I'd say.
Well done.
2 seconds now.
Go on,
There's
show it
definitely
away.
probably more.
That's 2 for 2 anyway, but show it away.
I said Coutinho, sorry. Barcelona. Would PK have counted? Probably did come from Man United. Like.
Yeah.
Fabregas.
Went back there, yeah.
Alex Song.
Yeah, well done. You smashed it.
Fucking shit. Yeah, I'll take it.
Well done, kid. It's 2 for 2. Okay, so pick a number. I'll give you the country. We've done this similar type of question before, and you tell me who the top goal scorer ever of that country is.
Internationally,
yeah. So that we'll only do 3 of them. So pick a number between 1 and like 20.
6.
Is Spain.
All-time top goal scorer for Spain.
Yeah.
Raul?
No.
David Villa.
Yes. Well done.
He was amazing
What
for
a
Spain.
player.
Kid.
What
Probably
a player.
the best. Like, he kept Fernando Torres in his prime out of the squad.
Yeah.
Like, he was actually injured for the European Cup final, or he suspended. Torres scored the winner. Like, but that whole tournament was David Villa. Like, do you know what I mean? Scoring 2s and 3s in games. Like,
He was amazing. Yeah, I used to love him. And like when he was in his prime with like more so Valencia.
yeah,
When they had like Juan Mata and Davi Silva Senna. Rafa won the league with that team. Like that was a savage team. And the Mestalla, they were a decent club. Like,
and he went to Barca, did unreal. Do you remember he went to like New York and caused wreck? I remember the FIFA. Do you remember the FIFA there when he was over in New York? Sign him straight away. You get him for nothing. And you still have 2 good years in him. He's like an 87 overall. Like, it was like class.
Decent. So pick another number.
8.
Holland. Or the Netherlands, should I say?
The Netherlands. All-time top goal scorer for Holland.
For the Netherlands,
Oh, you see, Marco van Basten only played till he was 28. Dennis Bergkamp isn't a goal scorer. Like, he does amazing things. Who? Van Persie?
Great show.
Is it Van Nistelrooy and Van Persie? No, it'd be close, I'd say.
Van Persie, boy. What a shout. Well done.
Nice.
Well
I like this.
Might pick another number.
18.
Scotland.
All-time top goal scorer for Scotland. Fuck it, lad. That's not. You're not even going to be a great player, like. Is it like Ellie McCoist or something?
No.
Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny Dalglish, boy. Well,
a great player.
He is joint top with someone else, if you could name. But I'll give you the point.
Is it like a current player?
Nah.
No. Like, that's what I went straight and I was like, who? Callum McGregor or something fucking crazy. Like, who plays up front for him? Like,
no.
McBurney.
Okay.
He's joint top with.
Dennis Law.
Okay. No, would never have gotten that.
Yeah. So well done, kid.
I like this though. I like this. All right, 17.
Greece.
Samaras.
No. I actually, yeah.
He's going to be Giannakalakopoulos or something, isn't it? All right, okay, that was a bad one to bow
even that guess wasn't bad. It was like Anastapoulos. Nikos Anastapoulos.
We apologise to all our Greek friends out there, but
that's a fact.
Yeah, go on, give me one more. I like this game, right? 8. I did 8. Give me 7.
Serbia.
Mitrovic.
Yeah.
Mitrovic, these are the boots. Make me an offer I can't fucking refuse. You already heard here, guys. He's the top goal scorer for Serbia. He just pushed the referee on the floor as well. Top class too. There are his boots. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
One more, Daniel. Or did you get out of it?
No, go on. I'll give you one more. Go on.
Number 1.
Well, I know, because I got to go back to it. Croatia.
All time. David Schuker.
Oh, what a show, kid. Well done. Well done. You're smashing it. Oh, yeah. Right, we're moving on. You
Okay.
So there's 2 questions left. You got 3 for 3. Smashing it at the minute. So can you name 3 Premier League managers that were hired and sacked in the same season?
3 Premier League managers that were hired and sacked in the same season.
Yeah.
Okay. Graham Potter.
As much as managers, well done. Graham Potter is one, yeah. As much as managers get sacked, this actually doesn't happen that often.
There's definitely a Watford dude inside there now.
100% there is, yeah. There's more than one actually.
Andre fucking Marco Silva.
No, so he's your first one wrong, no worries. So have a think about it now.
Are they all Watford?
The ones that are not, I actually, there is actually a dozen or so. Like,
okay.
I'll
try to get
but
out.
over the course of 30 years in the Premier League, like, there's so many dudes sacked, like, in the same season isn't actually.
Roy Hodgson.
No.
You have to be hired during the season, is it?
Hired and
so not at the start of the season. Yeah, I get you. All right, so that was wrong.
Okay,
that was
sorry,
wrong.
I should have worded it right for you. I won't count.
No, you did word it right. That's me being stupid.
No.
All right, okay. Hired and fired in the same season. Like, Chelsea have to be responsible for 1 or 2 of them as well. Like,
So I suppose you're thinking like some guys only had a couple of jobs, and then other guys have had plenty jobs. You know, they've been around. There's actually one guy here, and he's on the list twice. Happened to him twice.
Twice.
Yeah, with 2 different clubs. Like
Joe Kinnear.
Joe Kinnear is on the list, boy. Well done, lad. Yeah, happened to him with Newcastle.
He's the guy Charles and Zagbia, Charles and Samnia.
Oh, go away, yeah.
No.
No, I remember him. He was number 2. He was someone's number 2 for a while then after or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, Joe Kinnear is on the list. That happened to him in
Is
Newcastle.
Ian Dowie on the list? He strikes me as a man when he's at your club, you're going down by. He's like the Grim Reaper, but if he's on the sideline, you're going down. Like.
Yeah, no, he's not on the list.
Okay. Everton have to have a man on this, like. No?
They don't.
No?
No.
They do like to go through their managers, but maybe they do give them...
It's just like Watford's has happened to teams like West Brom, Fulham, Villa, Swansea.
Your man Felix Miguet?
Portsmouth.
No. Swansea, yeah. Not Gary Monk. What was the other guy?
So it has, the first time it happened was in '98, and Graham Potter is the most recent one it happened to.
What club in '98?
Hired Palace. Hired and sacked in the same season. Yeah, there's plenty of other names. You'll be kicking yourself when you hear some of them. You'll be like, oh yeah.
Oh man, I have to get this right.
So as I say, like obviously it's all probably lower table teams, you know.
Alan Corbishley.
No.
Fuck.
I'll give you one more guess. I don't know how many lives you have, but I'll give you one more.
Okay. Stuart Pearce.
No.
Go on, so tell me.
So it also happened this year with Nathan Jones, Southampton. It happened Claudio Ranieri twice with Watford and Fulham. Sanchez Flores at Watford.
Nigel Pearson
at Watford. Yeah, well done. Alan Pardrew with West Brom. Bob Bradley was the Swansea dude, I'd say you're possibly thinking of. Remy Gard, Aston Villa, yeah. Joe Canary said it happened. Tony Adams of Portsmouth.
Yeah, I remember that.
Les Reed, a few other dudes, then Dave Bassett, Colin Todd, a few other dudes. But yeah, so this last one is probably the hardest question. In my opinion, it's the hardest 11 I've ever given you anyway. But it came up during the week, and I was like, alright, this is actually cool. So, how much of the starting 11 can you name for Fulham when they got to the Europa League final?
Oh.
So Fulham had, I'm sure, just been kept up the year before barely by the skin of their teeth, like, and in the next year Hodgson went on this big massive run with them, and they got to the Europa League final, and that team is probably the best Fulham team we've seen, like, but I couldn't remember much of it, to be honest.
Alright, did they have in goals, was either Van der Sar or Schwarzer, was it?
It was Schwarzer, man, well done.
Schwarzer in goals. Left back Konchesky.
Yeah, well done.
Did they have a fella called Chris Bird?
Yeah, right back, well done.
Would they have a fella called Hengland?
Yeah, man, yeah, he's the centre back.
And then the other guy then was Zat Knight, was it?
I'd say he was there, but he didn't start that final.
Do you know the other centre back?
I think he might have been there. No, not really, kid,
no.
But I remember the name, but like I couldn't picture him.
Okay, we'll move on. No.
Roy Hodgson then went to Liverpool and bought Konchesky with him.
Yeah,
and it didn't work out, to say the least.
We're going to go Damien Duff out left.
Well done, yeah.
We've Danny Murphy in the middle.
Well done, kid.
Clint Dempsey.
Didn't
start. He would have been their main man, but didn't start. Right, okay. So Danny Murphy would have been playing centre mid with what's that fella? He hardly played in the final by your man fucking Jimmy Bullard. Remember, he had a bad spell with him. Like that was after that.
No, he didn't play.
Papa Bouba Diop. No, he was gone to Portsmouth. Who would have been centre mid with him? Anyway, you would have had Bobby Zamora.
Yeah, well done.
Would you Andy Johnson?
No. Another striker that was there at the time played up there with him.
Bobby Zamora.
So you've only 4 players left, right? So you've named Schwarzer, and then the back 3 Bard, Hengland, Konchesky. So you're missing a centre back. In the middle, Duff, Murphy.
Was there a fella called Steed Madbronk?
No.
Was there a fella called Fulham? In that season, I can remember the jersey. Who's in that jersey, boy?
You've done better than I would already anyway. You've got most of them, to be fair.
Centre mid with Danny Murphy, you would have had to have legs with him, like.
Yeah, that's what it was as well. It was legs, like it was a holder. But I can't actually picture him. Just remember the name.
It wasn't like Zakora or something. No. Who's the other striker up there with Bobby Zamora then? Nevland? Eric Nevland.
No.
Who would have been up there with him? Is he English?
No.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
What's it begin with? My second name. What's it?
G.
A G.
Yeah. Will I give him to you? What's left?
Give me that striker.
Gira.
Sultan Gira.
Yeah.
Yeah, used to wear an eye mask kind of thing. Scored a lovely bicycle kick against United as well. In the midfield with Murphy would have been... don't know.
A Tuhu.
Yeah, Etienne Atuhu.
Yeah. And Davies out the left, and the centre back was Hughes.
Yeah.
You done amazing, kid. Well done, you boy. Great week.
Was a tough one.
Don't know what you actually got in the end.
I got 3 out of 5, but Lord, I should have got. That was tough, but I should have got the other one with the managers getting sacked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's one of those ones where you get stuck, and if you had time, you'd have got it. But no, I thought they were hard questions, Skip, but they were great. I saw that 11. That's a ridiculous question. I saw that 11 during the week, and I was like, "Oh, lad, we'll see how well you do after that."
I actually seen. Do you remember? Actually, I screenshot and sent it to you when I was buying all these jerseys. I seen a semi-final with Clint Dempsey, match worn Fulham top. It was worth a few bob.
I believe it.
Yeah, but Fulham don't get to Europa League finals, like, so it would have been a good one to have, like, you know.
Well,
I think Kappa was their brand as well.
It was, boy.
Yeah.
He wore it in the semi-final, was it?
Yeah, semi-final. It was like an away one as well. Yeah, it was very nice, lads. Very nice.
How much you don't know?
Like in the thousands. Yeah.
Did you see the sneakers worn by Michael Jordan in the '98 NBA Finals?
The red one.
The red and black ones, but the ones actually from like the last dance. You know that he's like
match worn.
It's
like.
what it was match worn by. Went an auction there like last week. Do you know what they went for? And have a stab at it.
$500,000.
2 million. Like.
Yeah, I believe every bit. And you know what? Good investment. That'll be worth more.
Yeah.
When the time comes, like that's yeah.
Sports memorabilia at its finest, right there.
Michael Jordan's shoes, like that's a big one, boy. Yeah, 3 out of 5. I'll take it.
Wasn't bad, kid.
Do you see, actually, your man Danny Graham crashed his car through a supermarket after 8 points.
Why did you play for Swansea? Was
yeah,
it?
he used to do this as his celebration.
Stop.
Yeah.
8 points in through the wall.
Smashed in through a fucking in a Range Rover, boy.
Osher course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm retired 5 years. I might as well be driving a fucking Range Rover. Yeah.
That's mad.
Do you know what I mean?
Isn't it mad how like an average? I'm not saying I suppose like an average footballer can in 10 years make a lifetime of money. Like it's amazing, isn't it?
Especially those type of players.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I don't know. Are you watching Wrexham? The Wrexham documentary.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah. It's on the
list.
list.
Even watching them this week.
It's on the list.
They're getting promoted this week. Like
should you see there? We were only on about them, and then a few days later, they were in the game and
Ben Foster
they were down 2-1 and came back 2-all 3-2 and he saved the penalty.
It was perfect timing because myself and Jess were watching the documentary and we finished it and then we're watching these players then live, you know, like that we watched because they have their backstories in the documentary and you're nearly caring. I was at work, Jess was watching the game. Jess didn't even watch football before I met her. She's watching a National League game, Wrexham against Notts County. Go on, Mullen! Like it's, do you know what I mean? They'll tell you the influence. But lad, it's pure. Do you know? In a way, it's kind of fairy tale stuff. In another way, they're Man City kids. The way what they're doing, out of the top 10 players that play in the National League, the top 10 best played players, they have 6 of them. Do you know what I mean? So they are buying it up but fuck it, they're making great of the town and they're good owners. There's owners that have more money in them and they don't put in that money, you know.
And I'd rather see them come from the bottom and do it than buy a Premier League club already established and just kick on. Do you know, the way they're doing it is pretty cool. I'm definitely going to watch it. It sounds class.
The two boys are A1 now. Obviously everyone knows Ryan Reynolds, but your man Rob McElhenney, I never watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's the thing he's from, like. But lad, you get into him, like. You get into him. He's kind of the driving force in it, like. No, they know nothing about soccer, like, but he's the driving force in it, like. You know, he put up a tweet now the last day with Ben Foster saving a penalty, like. You know, and his tweet was like, "I can't believe there was a time in my life where I used to think soccer was boring, like." You know what I mean? And him freaking out, like. You know, even the documentary, like, is in he walks out from the owners thing, Ryan Reynolds, like, and they're all pointing up. There's only one Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds is like a god over him, lad. He's like, they won't abuse the soccer chants or nothing, like. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh my fucking god, and they're doing good things for the community, good things. Like, they're falling in love with him, like, you know.
Love it. Such a cool story.
Yeah, they've like a song from like that's on Spotify, and like it's all around the place. But there's a funny part now in it, because Rob McElhenney, he's from Philadelphia. He has a bar there, like, and he closed the bar down, got all of his friends around for a game. Like, this is when they just brought him, like, you know. And he was like, "Oh, watch the soccer game. This is my team." Like, and it was 0-0, like. And like they just showed everybody in the pub not watching a game and just him watching the game, you know.
Yes.
And he goes, "I'm so embarrassed," like.
Yes,
And he was fuming with him, like. He was like, 0-0. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what I mean? And it was like the 28 minute. He goes, "This is when the guys get going. About 28 minutes, these guys get going." Do you know what I'm saying? The most American shit, like, you know. Oh, lad. Fucking yeah, absolutely outstanding, boy. Do you know what I mean? Great documentary. I couldn't recommend it enough.
I'm going to get on it, 100%.
Are you watching anything at the moment?
I started watching that Night Agent.
Yeah,
I'm only a couple of episodes in. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
It's pretty decent, boy. Some of the acting is questionable enough, I think, at times. I think they're trying to reach out for the younger population or something. But like they're saying some words and doing things that is like, are they fucking serious? But the whole thing is actually unbelievable.
I've literally watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But no, it is good, and I'm still watching Ted Lasso as well.
Yeah, Ted Lasso, outstanding. I didn't watch yesterday's episode now, so I have that now tomorrow. Yeah, I actually meant to ask you, when we're coming into the season, do you know what I mean? Dan is obviously a garden guru. Could you recommend anything coming into the summer months? We're in spring now, coming into the summer. You're up the fucking walls. That's the other reason with the podcast, guys. We're doing all we can to make the podcast. Poor Danny boy's up the walls, so am I. But can you recommend anything to our listeners out there? I know that's a very vague question, but anything little to help them at this time of year.
This is the time of year I know you get. It's the most joyous time to be in the garden anyway. It's the best time of year. This is when everything is just starting to come, and you're out planting, getting the place ready. Everyone who has a garden now is flat to the mat, because this is when you're getting everything back in order again. It'd be probably my busiest time this next couple of months, work-wise. And I would say anyone that isn't growing something they can eat is foolish. Even if you don't have a garden, because we all can put pots and windowsills and put herbs and stuff into them. So even if you don't have a garden, you can grow stuff that you can eat and use in the kitchen. But anyone that has a garden or any bit of space, so foolish for not growing stuff, because it's so simple and there's so many things out there you can grow. Okay. And yeah, I'd recommend everyone to grow a bit of food or something that they can eat or something they can cook with, and start off small. Start off with just a small area. Don't overdo it on yourself. But just start something from seed, grow it, care for it, harvest it, eat it. And once you go through that cycle once, I reckon most people will do it forever then. And
you do practice what you preach. I've been in your house. You do eat your own food most days, lad. And they're nice, they're tasty. I've eaten your strawberries, man. They're lovely. Yeah. Everything is nicer and better, like, you know what I mean?
100%.
So, but like to anybody out there now, like myself, who'd be an absolute novice to this game, what would be, give me 2 plants to go get, seeds to go get, to grow, to eat. Like, I don't have a garden. What's the 2 easiest?
It's literally what are you going to eat? Like, there's no point growing things you're not going to eat. Like we all eat spuds. Do you know what I mean? And potatoes store. So like, if you go to the efforts of growing potatoes, you can store them for 6 months and have them for months and months. So it's worth the effort. Like, whereas like obviously something like salad leaf, you pull it, it's fresh for a day. That's it. Like, you know, but you can keep the plant in the ground for weeks. But growing things that can store, onions, garlic, carrots, parsnips, spuds, you can store them for months and months, keep them somewhere dark. You'll be eating off your own harvest throughout the year, like. But during the summer, then you can grow fun things, especially anyone that has a tunnel or something, can get a bit more exotic with chilies and peppers and tomatoes and sweet corn and watermelons and all these kind of things. But definitely grow things that you're going to eat anyway, and something that you have the space for. But anything, man, like, oh my God, the selection of stuff out there. But something that you can eat, but the stuff that you can store is worth the effort. It's a little bit more effort growing potatoes than a normal plant, obviously, because there's a bit more effort in setting them originally. but it's worth the effort because, as I say, like you'll have them for months and they'll be your own. And obviously you can do it organically, very easy. So then everything is tastier, it's more nutritious, and you love it. I guarantee you, if someone goes through the cycle of it, grows something, produces it, eats it, they'll do it forevermore.
Yeah, there's something like fucking like
it's amazing.
I grew that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's in my body. Do you know what I mean? It feels good. Like, so it's just a daunting thing of doing it first. Not daunting, but doing anything first or doing anything new or different is always just something off-putting about it. Do you know what I mean?
People always think you have to have a load of space. You don't need any space at all. Like literally, a few pots will do you. Do you know? Like you can grow spuds in buckets, like, or you know, like a.
You can grow mushrooms under your bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been at it for years. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, definitely growing things you can do. I think it's the best, and it's fun. You'll enjoy it. Like, yeah. Other than that, keep the garden, provide for things.
Yes,
that's the other thing.
We were talking in the car now the last day, actually, when we were driving up to Dublin. All over the road now, even like the government's property, even there's just, I'd make it sound Ireland like it's a communist state, but whatever. Fucking, do you know what are they called? Dandelions? What not dandelions? Yeah. They're weeds.
Yeah.
And it's like on the weed killer box, like kill these things.
Yeah.
And now Ireland are just leaving them grow, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like why? Just because they're weeds. Weed is bad in your head. Like weed.
Yeah.
Pot smokers ruining the country. Weed. But like, you know, fucking, you just think bad things like that were just made to believe bad things, but they look beautiful. Like, and they provide for animals,
so
insects.
Important. Yeah, they're so important. Because they're they're the first flowers for like solitary bees and stuff nowhere out. So they're so important, and exactly, they actually look lovely. It's total propaganda, like in terms of selling the weed killer, like that. And sure, a weed is only a plant that you don't want. So if I could have a rose that I consider a weed, if it's a plant, do you know what I mean? There's no such thing as a weed. Like,
is that the definition of a weed?
Yeah, it's literally just a plant you don't want. Like,
plant you don't want.
Yeah. So and dandelions, that's it. And dandelions themselves, like I'm sure, like there's herbalists and people out there now who would be into you know, medicine from plants and they will tell you dandelion is amazing. It's like a super plant, like the amount of goodness that can come from a dandelion. Yeah, so like there's dandelion tea, and I think you can do stuff with the root. And so I think back in the day, our ancestors, I'd imagine, would have used dandelions and you know,
for a positive effect.
Absolutely.
And we're trimming 100%. Them up just because we don't want to look at them. Like,
spraying the life out of them.
Spraying them like
poison, like poison them. Get rid of them. Poison them. Don't let them feed bees. Yeah, it's madness.
It
is
actually
madness. But now that the council, as you say, are cracking onto it, and they're definitely not cutting places as much, and they're leaving areas grow a bit. Anyone that has a big garden as well should definitely leave chunks of it grow a bit. Like, it takes away their own maintenance, and then it provides so much more for everything.
I can actually sense it in the last, even since the pandemic, there's more buzz in the summer, like with the wildlife and around the back. I really feel people have copped on a bit.
100%.
And it's really helping already, like, you know.
100%. And like it is literally up to us. Like, they think that, what's my little old garden, or what's my little it's literally that's the whole country has, everybody has a little old garden, so if everybody joins in, it's going to make a huge difference.
But even one garden is amazing.
Absolutely,
isn't it? Like, it actually is. Your own garden will see, like, isn't it amazing? They come, build it and they will come. Where the fuck were you before this?
That's it.
I always think that about that shit.
That's
even lakes. Why is there a lake in it? Why is there a fish in a lake? How did that fish get into the lake?
Yeah.
Honestly,
unless men put it in there. Yeah, it's amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Lake Placid. Did you ever see Lake Placid?
No, I've heard of it.
Any lakes, you could have crocodiles there. How the fuck did they walk over?
Yeah, that's
or
amazing.
did they morph out of the lake?
Yeah.
Into, like, were they tadpoles?
Yeah.
And now they're alligators. Like, did they but how did the tadpoles get in there? Getting too deep off track. Sorry, what were we saying?
No, it is amazing. But in terms of like the effects we have in our own garden, so there's a bird, I think it might be the black cap. Is it the black cap wargle or something? But it's a German bird. Normally in the winter it goes to Spain, goes to the Mediterranean, warm places. Makes sense. Now they're starting to come to Ireland, starting to come to England, Ireland mostly, and they're like, why in the winter would they come here? And it's because we're such good feeders for birds and gardens that, like, we do it almost as a cultural thing. We all feed the birds, like, and they realise now that they've actually more of a chance of getting through the winter coming to Ireland and eating off what people
in the
are
cold
giving their
weather
gardens than chancing the mid and doing it in the wild, like. So, like, we're changing the migration paths of birds from what we're doing in our gardens.
Like.
From our gardens, yeah, man, it's amazing.
They're so clever.
The impact we can have. Oh, but yeah, man, they're
Yeah.
amazing.
You should see outside my grandfather's place there, lad. He used to like just throw bread out every fucking day, lad. But at the same time, they would, like the line. You should see the birds,
Yeah,
kid.
to be only waiting.
The line would be hanging down with
Yeah,
the sun,
right.
and they're the fattest birds, kid. Thousands of them, like,
Yeah.
you know, waiting
Crows.
for my grandfather to throw it out, like, and
Yeah.
the bellies have them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's probably a bad effect. He probably shouldn't have done that. McDonald's drive-thrus as well. You'd see big crows.
Oh, and
inside
they
there,
take
but-
you on.
Yeah,
They take you on.
fucking
They come
black
into the
eyes,
car.
a
They
fucking-
come into
like
the
a
car for
pirate.
it.
Yeah. At the window, hey,
Yeah.
you done with the double cheeseburger, kid? Fucking angry look in his
Waiting
head,
here
like, you
all
know.
day, like.
Yeah, leave the window open, a small
Yeah.
bit up there, like,
Yeah.
intimidating as fuck. I feel bad because of the crows, like.
Yeah.
And if you fucking hell, but yeah.
I know, man.
Fascinating, mate.
So provide for stuff. Grow plants that are rich in nectar and pollen, and grow something for yourself as well. The garden should be providing, man. Yeah.
I've had 3 dead bunnies in the past week in my house. Out my backyard.
Three dead what?
3 dead bunnies, kid.
Bunnies.
Hares, bunnies, whatever you
All
want
right,
to call
and
them.
who's killing them?
I don't know. They're just dead every time I wake up.
Oh, your backyard.
Oh, my
Okay,
backyard.
that's a bad omen, boy. That's like one of the things in the Bible, isn't it?
Oh,
It's like
shit.
locusts next, isn't it?
Oh, shit. Boy. Fuck, you're dead right, boy. No, because
Fucking hell.
my dog then would go out, like, and I have to keep her away. She'd be like, licking it, like, on the floor.
That's a disaster, unless they're getting fucking poisoned or something, man. That's a disaster. They're dropping like that, because you'd imagine if it was a fox or something, he'd be taking them away.
Yeah. And I have to go out then and throw them back in, like, you know.
That's a disaster. That's
Yeah.
definitely not right, anyway.
Uh,
Don't like to hear that. Because it's springtime now, obviously everything is mating. All the birds are nesting. And this is like if you have your young now, they have the best chance because you're going into the best weather. They have 6 months to
that's
kick
what
on.
me and Jess did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we mated in a time that would suit when the baby's born. It'd be summertime. Get the fat on her for the winter.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Like
it's mating
bunnies.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just came natural. She came
It did, yeah. I was just like, it's October. Barry White. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Hey Google,
Let's
play
get it
Barry
on.
White. Yes, Mike. Playing your Making Love podcast. Or play this. That's a fantastic end way to end the podcast with a very topical bit of information, Danny boy.
Nice and good.
Thanks. Sorry for missing last week, guys. We'll be back making podcasts as normal. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your the weather's getting nice. Get out there. Enjoy it. Enjoy the matches. Thanks very much for coming, kid.
Thanks for having me, kid. Pleasure as always, boy. Loads of fun.
Nice. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.